Leah was a curious girl. She loved adventures. She had two dogs, Bastien and Boudreaux. Bastien was a French bulldog with a grumpy face but a kind heart. Boudreaux was a Yorkie, small and playful. They were the best of friends. One sunny afternoon, Leah was playing fetch with her dogs in the park. Bastien chased after the ball with a grunt. Boudreaux, with his tiny legs, trailed behind, yipping excitedly. Leah giggled, her laughter echoing in the warm air. Suddenly Boudreaux stopped. He sniffed the air, his tail wagging furiously. He had found something. It was a large, glowing sphere half hidden behind a bush. The sphere pulsed with a soft blue light. Leah cautiously approached it, her dogs at her heels. It was warm to the touch and hummed gently. As Leah reached out to touch the sphere, it burst open. A beam of blue light engulfed Leah and her dogs. They were lifted off the ground, spinning through the air. Leah closed her eyes, holding tightly onto her dogs' collars. The world around them seemed to dissolve into a dizzying blur of colors. When Leah opened her eyes, she couldn't believe what she saw. They were inside a spaceship. The Earth was a small blue marble in the distance, and ahead of them loomed a giant swirling planet. "Jupiter!" Leah gasped, her heart pounding with a mix of fear and excitement. "We're in space!" she exclaimed, her voice trembling. Bastien barked as if in agreement. Boudreaux, perched on Leah's lap, shivered a little but wagged his tail. The spaceship was filled with strange buttons and flashing lights. Leah knew she had to figure out what was going on and how to get home. But first she had a feeling they were on a very important mission. As the spaceship hurtled towards Jupiter, a door slid open, revealing a room full of screens and controls. A friendly voice boomed from a speaker. "Welcome aboard, I am Navigator, your onboard AI." Leah, still clutching her dogs, cautiously approached the voice. "Navigator, where are we going? And who brought us here?" she asked. "You are headed to Ganymede, one of Jupiter's moons," Navigator replied. "As for who brought you here, let's just say you stumbled upon a teleportation device created by a very special group of aliens." Leah's mind raced. Aliens? Teleportation? This was even more incredible than she could have imagined. She knew this was just the beginning of their grand space adventure. Section 5, the jellyfish aliens and their missing sunstone. The spaceship landed with a gentle thud on Ganymede. Leah, Bastien and Boudreaux stepped out onto the moon's surface, their eyes wide with wonder. Ganymede was covered in shimmering crystals that glittered under the faint light of the distant sun. Ahead of them, a group of jellyfish-like aliens floated towards them. They had translucent bodies that pulsed with light and long trailing tentacles. One of them, who introduced himself as Lumos, greeted them with a sad smile. "Welcome to Ganymede," Lumos said, his voice echoing in Leah's mind. "We called you here because we need your help. Our most precious energy source, the Sunstone, has been stolen." Lumos explained that the Sunstone powered their entire civilization. Without it, their light would fade and Ganymede would be plunged into darkness. He pointed towards a dark cave in the distance. "The gremlins, creatures of darkness, have stolen our sunstone. You must get it back." Section 6. The Gremlins' Hideout. Armed with a flashlight and her courage, Leah, with Bastien and Boudreaux by her side, entered the gremlins' cave. The cave was dark and damp, filled with strange, echoing sounds. Leah shivered, clutching her flashlight tightly. As they ventured deeper into the cave, they encountered strange, glowing plants and creatures with glowing eyes. Bastien growled, his fur on end. Boudreaux whimpered, hiding behind Leah's legs. Suddenly they reached a large chamber, where a group of gremlins huddled around a glowing object, the sunstone. The gremlins were small and wiry, with sharp teeth and glowing red eyes. They snarled at Leah and her dogs, clutching the sunstone tightly. Section 7. A Daring Rescue. Leah knew she had to be brave. She couldn't let the gremlins get away with the sunstone. She came up with a plan. "Bastien," she whispered, "distract them." Bastien, understanding, barked ferociously and pretended to lunge at the gremlins. The gremlins, startled, turned to face their new threat. That was their chance. Leah, clutching Boudreaux, crept towards the sunstone. The gremlins were too busy with Bastien to notice her. She grabbed the sunstone and ran. The gremlins, realizing they had been tricked, gave chase. But Leah, with Boudreaux tucked safely in her arms, was too quick for them. They raced out of the cave and back towards the waiting spaceship. Section 8. Homeward Bound. Leah, with the sunstone safely in her backpack, emerged from the cave to cheers from the jellyfish aliens. Lumos, his body glowing brightly, thanked Leah and her brave dogs. With the sunstone back in its rightful place, Ganymede was bathed in a warm, golden light. The jellyfish aliens celebrated, their lights pulsating with joy. They bid farewell to Leah, Bastien and Boudreaux, promising to never forget their bravery. As the spaceship took off, Leah looked back at Ganymede, her heart full of wonder. She had traveled to space, met aliens, and even outwitted a group of gremlins. Who knew what other adventures awaited her? Section 9. A universe of adventures awaits. Back on Earth in their familiar park, Leah, Bastien and Boudreaux landed softly on the grass. The glowing sphere was gone, leaving behind only a faint trace of warmth and a memory of an incredible journey. Leah hugged her dogs, her heart full of gratitude. They had been on an amazing adventure together, and she knew deep down that this was only the beginning. The universe was a vast and mysterious place filled with endless possibilities. Leah, with her two loyal companions by her side, was ready to explore it all. Their next adventure, she knew, was just around the corner.